If you're an audiophile and you're currently trying to chase out the noise from your system and want to take the next step, stay tuned. I have a couple of products that you just might want to consider. Hi everyone, Mark here from Audio Pursuit. Up front, I want to make this clear. If your total system value is under $3,000, this is probably not a product review that you should be considering for your system. Because noise reduction is truly along the edges of your system's resolution. While eliminating noise or reducing it does improve your sound, that improvement becomes far more noticeable once you move up the chain in the quality of your equipment. Therefore, if you don't fit in this parameter, I'd honestly suggest that you look at things such as speaker placement, room treatment, how your wires are laid out in the room, among other possibilities first. Between $3,000 and $5,000, you may want to look into Vera-Fi Audio's highly regarded budget noise product that I reviewed, among others, the Snubway and the Mainstream. And I can tell you, I found them quite worthy. For the rest of us who are truly vested in the pursuit of musical nirvana, this review's for you. As I continue my process of eliminating as much noise while listening, I begin by asking myself, not long after my previous step up in noise elimination had been completed, am I now becoming perceptive to noise that I initially blocked out after last removal or filter was put into my listening space? First of all, that means replicating as closely as possible what electrical appliances in the house are running to make sure that they are once again off in my home. That means the dishwasher, the television in the family room, the washer and dryer aren't doing their duty, among other items. Now I should say that all the fluorescent lighting in this house was changed in favor of LEDs when we bought it some 4 years ago. The next step was listening to my reference Buchart S400 Mark IIs and the Magnepan .7s with each of my amplifiers and source unit, along with the amplifiers I currently have in for review. And that means the Orchard Audio Stark Rimson Ultra and the Peachtree Audio Carina X Integrated. I also regularly go around and make sure that my plug-in points are tight and that I am wisely limiting the use of wires and interconnects and power cords in an effort to keep those items from laying on top of one another. What is this all leading up to? Is that I recently received from Mark Schifter of Vera-Fi Audio 2 noise-reducing eliminating products, the Snub Station Zero and the Line Noise Black Hole, working in tandem. He also sent the Infinity Fuse, which I will be doing in a separate review. What did I notice with the Snub Station Zero and the Line Noise Black Hole? Like with the Vera-Fi Audio Snubway and Mainstream, but even more so is another level of improved clarity. What these two items do is make the music more vivid by reducing the auditory noise even further. The best way I can describe it is when under some nice lighting outdoors, the colors in a garden of flowers are more vivid after a rainstorm when the nitrogen is absorbed by the plants and released, leading to the enhanced greens, blues, yellows, oranges, and reds, plus violets, basically every color in the spectrum. Now, the amount of improvement is really going to be based upon how your home's electrical system, plugins, and so forth are set up, along with how good the grounding is. If you have an electrical pole with a little transformer next or near to your house, there's a definite chance that you're going to be getting more noise from that, especially if it's an older one that's buzzing. If you have a family full of kids, some people have their computers running, their desktop units may be outputting more noise that way, along with the video gaming systems. It's just very dependent. If you're in an apartment, condo, or a townhome, you may be experiencing more noise from your neighbors. The point being that if you're at the point where you're happy with your system, feel the room to improve, and you haven't investigated line noise and ways to reduce it, the Snub Station Zero and the line noise black hole are definitely worth investigating. Since the Snub Station Zero is the unit closest to the equipment, therefore I'll start with it. The casework is a single piece curved from side to side over the edges. The front panel has 3 sockets. In a cost-effective touch, the 3 outlet sockets are multi-compatible for various parts of the world. 2 are to power such items as a DAC, turntable, CD player, and streamer. And 1 is designed for amplifiers with a slow start. This is critical to note, as long as all the items add up to under 10 amps. My reference amplifier, the Galleon TS-A75 at 8 amps, is a great match for this. The idea is for the Snub Station Zero to capture the flood of energy that hits the equipment when the power is first turned on. And in doing so, the noise is filtered out. The secondary benefits is that it should increase the life of the component by not having to deal with the impact from powering up. In my case, the Air 2 sockets were used for the WIM Ultra Streamer and the Denafrips Aries 2 DAC. The power cord from the Snub Station Zero goes into the line noise black hole. This unit goes after the EMI RFI noise that occurs with electronics. The line noise black hole is a product of Dr. Viet Nguyen's workbench. The line noise black hole acts like a sponge, absorbing the pollutants. With this design, current is not limited in any way. The sponge filtering is broken up into 2 parts. Like the Snub Station Zero, the line noise black hole also is limited to equipment total of 10 amps or less. In my listening space, I definitely experienced subtle improvement in clarity. I won't say that it's massive, but there is more air, space, and definition in the shimmer of the cymbals, the various and sometimes unique notes and resonances that the piano boys get out of their instruments in their recordings. And that's impressive. The various great guitarists, especially with an acoustic model, is more alive and richer. While these recordings, and not the actual live instrument, is in front of me, the Snub Station Zero and the line noise black hole are getting me closer to my nirvana. To further test the Snub Station Zero and the line noise black hole, I made sure to listen with and without the units in the chain while our washer and dryer were running, as well as the vacuum cleaner and hair dryer were powered up at the opposite end of my home. I could not hear those units running. Now, first off, I always hear a short bump in my system when the vacuum is turned on. With the Snub Station Zero and the line noise black hole, that was all but eliminated. Secondly, a background undercurrent of graininess disappeared. That same auditory issue that also occurred when other appliances mentioned before Vera-Fi Audio's dual products tamed the noise. You want to make sure that the music you're listening to is uncompressed. In other words, lossless or original bit perfect. Because if you're not doing that, in this reviewer's humble opinion, you're wasting your money. You need to be getting the original sound quality of the recording as close as possible before stepping into the noise reducing, canceling, eliminating path. Listening to Neil Young's classic Harvest, I found that the harmonica to be a nice reference for improvement. It's one of those instruments that reveals harshness easily. Cymbals are another instrument that exposes noise in a system. Pulling up my favorite percussion-dominated songs definitely revealed the improvement the Snub Station Zero and the line noise black hole cleaned up, as did the various pianists who recorded via the Windham Hill library. What I also appreciate is how I noticed more detail, resonance, and richness in the choir passages. It's areas like that where lots of times little nuances get lost that are in the music. Now, we are not talking about 10 or 15% here. Honestly, I would say that 3 to maybe 5% at the absolute most, depending upon the level of resolution of your system and the noise in your home's electrical system. Now, some people are going to ask, is it worth plucking down the extra money for these? Well, as I said at the beginning, if you have invested $5,000 or more in your system, I would say yes. But if you're just streaming music to your system over Bluetooth from your phone, then no. I do wish the Snub Station Zero and the line noise black hole were actually the same size, just for appearance sake, nothing else. The Vera-Fi Audio Snub Station Zero, regularly priced at $599, and the line noise black hole at $428, though both are on sale right now as of September 1st, 2025 at $395 each, are still less expensive than virtually all its competitors. This is a far bigger deal than one may think. Allowing the listener to buy more music, upgrade other components, or just keep the money in their pocket for other joys in life, like a live concert, is important. This far more for less approach has been the mantra of Vera-Fi Audio's main man, Mark Schifter. One only has to look at his universally praised Vanguard Scout speakers, myself included, and the Caldera subwoofers to recognize that Vera-Fi Audio has hit on the secret sauce combo of value and sound quality. The Snub Station Zero and the line noise black hole nail the key point in audio, improving the quality of your listening experience, placing you closer to the recording by removing the various forms of noise. Remember, this is a returning to the original color, not adding to it. Without this film or haze, music is able to do what I crave so much, the touching of my soul. In doing so, the Snub Station Zero and the line noise black hole are a pathway to increasing those ultimate escapes into the beauty of music. Definitely highly recommended. Thanks everybody for watching this video. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day. And please remember, if you liked it, hit the button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Because like all of us reviewers, the more subscribers I get, the more products I can get for review and give you my thoughts. So until next time, find some really good music, turn off just the outside noise of life, and just get lost in the beauty of it. Take care, everyone.